Ha ha! What it do, Busters? The bug catcher is here today, smoking trees, catching butterfrees, baby. Go on ahead and subscribe. What is stopping you from hitting the subscribe button? Not a damn thing. So just stop being the buster that you may be and just go ahead and subscribe to TBC, baby. Y'all saw the title. People like to lie and say Pokemon doesn't innovate. But every game, every mainline game, that is, I'm not going to count BDSP, right? Every mainline game has innovated or has had an innovation in one way, shape, or form that the community not only asked for, but refuses to acknowledge Pokemon actually did it, right? So let me just jump right into the big doozy, right? And I'll start with the very first game, Pokemon games on the Switch. Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee. Now you're asking yourself, bug catcher, how did they innovate anything? They're like some of the most toned down Pokemon games in the history of my naturally born life. Well, Busters, this game introduced the long awaited overworld sprites of Pokemon, like in just the, overworld, right? You didn't have to search in the grass anymore for a Pokemon to pop up on your bitch ass. It's just there. You see it and you can just run into it. You can dilly dally, run around it. You don't even really need repels, especially in Let's Go and like Scarlet and Violet. And I know in Sword and Shield they kept some encounters, tied to the grass and like stuff like that. But that's about it. Let's Go put Pokemon just walking around, hanging out, doing their thing. And that's what, now it's common. Because that happened, fucking 10 years ago. We don't even think about it. Man, I didn't even know that was a Switch console. That's fucking awesome. Man. You know, they fucking did their thing. And people hate on it. Sword and Shield, the next thing they did to really innovate and push the series forward was not only add DLC, which the whole DLC is open world. They have an open world-esque area, the wild area. And obviously, even though I don't like that Pokemon likes to use a game as like a trial and error to see how it works, they're just testing it for the next game. At the end of the day, Sword and Shield introduced and innovated basically open world for Pokemon. They drew the blueprint, they had the rotating camera, and again, the fans asked for it, and now they act like Pokemon just forgets about them. The fans actually get a lot of what they asked for. Maybe not graphically, but even on the Switch 2, things are starting to pick up. And I, Busters, have hated on the graphics my damn self. But, the graphics ain't everything. That's why I keep trying to tell these fools coming on my page telling me Legend ZA is soulless. One, you admit you haven't played it. The graphics aren't that bad. Talking about the PNGs. Like, the walls have PNGs. I don't know what the fuck that means. So why the fuck would I care, douche? You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not a nerd. I game, but I'm not a nerd. You know what I'm saying? So, Pokemon gives the fans a lot of what they want. And, they just get a lot of hate back because it's not how they want it. Let's see. What were the next games? Legends Arceus. Okay? It took Pokemon. This was literally what everyone literally wanted. Everyone begged for Pokemon Breath of the Wild. That's literally what everyone begged for. Then Pokemon gave it to you. You know, that if you can look this up right now, if you look up why they actually started the Legends series, it was in a response to the American fans complaining about the games. Right? Like literally word for word. So you can't say Pokemon doesn't do what they don't innovate. Every time you guys say, hey, we want you to innovate this way, they do it. You know, Legends Arceus being the perfect example. Everyone begged for a Breath of the Wild Pokemon-esque game, and then we got it, and like nobody gave a fuck. Not one person gave a fuck, thanked Game Freak, appreciated it, actually said, man, they're actually listening to us. No one said any of that. And I know this has, you know, kind of like how it's the wild area and then the Isle of Orange is a big zone, quote unquote, and so is the other place, the fucking Crown Tundra, right? This Legends Arceus, I consider it open world, even though you have to, like, each part of the map has to load in, right? It's still open world. You still explore literally a whole country. You just do it in big ass chunks. Like, that's open to me. And even if that wasn't good enough, in Legends Arceus, they innovated, not only making it true open world, not only telling a different kind of story in a different kind of setting, they innovated the battling system, not quite as good as they innovated in the future, but they innovated the battling system, and obviously the catching mechanics got a full overhaul. Which, this is the best game to catch Pokemon in, with Legends ZA being a close second. This game's so fun to catch Pokemon. The barrel rolling, the hiding, the smoke bombs, the lures, the all the different things that go into, you know, alluring different Pokemon, different little cakes you can make. Like, they really expanded upon the catching in Legends Arceus, which is another innovation the fans had been asking for and refused to admit they got. Scarlet and Violet. Now, I know, Busters, what everyone's fucking thinking, alright? You know, the games come out and they look like trash. That's true. But it, you know, again, what else do people ask for in Pokemon? And maybe they didn't do it, they didn't execute it right by not making each place scale to where you're at. Like, the gym leaders, they're still in technically a set order. But you can do whatever you want, technically, however you want, technically, whenever you want, technically, at your own pace, literally. Like, there's 3 different major stories in a Pokemon game, which is rare. That never happens. Normally, again, they see Scarlet and Violet not only gave you true open worldness, which is what people were complaining about. Legends Arceus, it had to be loading zones. The fans do a lot of fucking complaining, I'm noticing. You know, they eliminated the loading zones. It's a true open area experience, right, Busters? A true open area experience. And in this region, the gimmick allowed you to change the type, which people also asked for. You know, I just don't understand. Again, I sound like a broken record, but I mean, you guys sound like a broken record. You know what I'm saying? And lastly, Legends ZA. Right, Busters? Legends ZA. You know, they fucking, But, you know, before I even get to Legends ZA, one more thing about Scarlet and Violet, right? But almost forgot, y'all. The branching, the 3 story. Look at my YouTube going off. Come on, trying to distract the real one. Busters, dude. Anyway, the 3 different stories. Normally, the Pokemon games only have one story that nothing intertwines with anything. And Scarlet and Violet made it to where, there's fucking 3 different stories. Then they all come together at the end for the post game, which is fantastic. And now, last but not least, bust bags, fucking Legend ZA, right? So, again, they innovated the battling tenfold. Not how they did it in Legends Arceus with Agile and Strong Style, which I don't even think I even really expounded upon, right? You can just change your style for, sometimes if you can go twice in a row if you do Agile styles in Arceus, right? Which is innovation. But they really did a whole overhaul, real-time battles, which is, again, busters. Listen to what I'm saying. It's something else the fans complained about wanting, they got, and they not really happy. Pokemon doesn't innovate. They literally innovate in every way you guys ask them to innovate, and y'all complain that it's not, that they don't do anything. Like, there's no winning with some of the people who complain about Pokemon. And I noticed the people who complain about Pokemon are people who don't play, or people who are hardcore nerdy nerds. Don't be a nerdy nerd today. And in case anyone forgot how they innovated, let's go overworld encounters. You can see what's going on with the Pokemon popping up. No more in the grass. Sword and Shield got the exposure to fucking the open world-esque type shit. And they had DLC, right? With a post-game still. Legends Arceus, true, almost true open world, new story, no gyms, I know they did it before, but just the whole catching mechanic and being in a whole era, new time. Scarlet and Violet, true open worldness, let you change the type with the gimmick. Legend ZA overhauled the fucking battling system. And if you don't believe me, watch my fucking Weeping Bell. Oh, well, you're not going to get to see the Weeping Bell, busters. I don't know what just happened. We're going to see me change my Bellsprout's moves at the end of the fucking thing, I guess. You guys have a great rest of your day. Fuck with a real one. Subscribe to the channel as Weeping Bell gets to become what he is today. And if you do subscribe, maybe, just maybe, busters, I'll get on here with your mother and do cartwheels. Fucking just subscribe.